Ava, are you planning on coming to my wedding? With a face like that?
Just like always, you're coming back to be rude to me even more. I do plan on going to your wedding. And congratulations on getting proposed to. You are family to me now, so it's pretty obvious that I'd be going to see your wedding. And I was the one that showed you the location of where you're planning to hold your wedding, right?
And so what? And the only reason you showed me the wedding hall to have a wedding is because you do a business with that place. So stop trying to act all cool about doing that when it was nothing more than you helping them make more money.
I'm not trying to get some sort of praise from you or anything. I was just stating that I know where the wedding will occur. And another thing, at the moment I'm the one that's paying for your wedding until you have the money to pay me back, right? So just with that alone, I'd love it if you could thank me or something.
And I told you I will pay you back, so don't worry. Others will be giving me money as gifts for my wedding, so just wait until I get all of that. And for the savings I have right now, they need to be used for other purposes, so I can't repay you with that.
And have you told Drew about that yet? Drew told me that your husband would be the one to pay for things like that, but that's all a lie, right?
I'm not lying about anything. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't worried about anything regarding me. That's just what I want Drew thinking for a little while, so don't do anything unnecessary that could make him think otherwise.
Anything unnecessary? Him and I are married now, Evelyn. I understand that this whole event is for our family and we wouldn't want to make any issues, but I'm still not fully sure whether you're up to something else behind all of our backs right now.
Well, Ava, you're a pretty ugly woman.
Wait, what?
Do you think that it's okay for someone who's ugly to come to my wedding? I want to make sure that my whole wedding is 100% perfect for all my guests. And if someone with the looks of you came into it, then the whole event would be ruined.
How much longer are you going to keep making such rude comments about my face being less than ideal for you? I guess I can expect that sort of stuff to continue from you, though. Do you tell Drew about all the things you say to me? Have you told him that you're not inviting his wife to the wedding because she's ugly?
If I said that to him, I'd be hurting his feelings, so I'll never tell him that. Of course, telling him the truth would be a lot easier.
You should never say something like that, though. If you're worried about hurting someone's feelings with the things you say, then why do you keep making rude comments about me? Up to now, you have hurt my feelings plenty of times.
Well, because you've helped out with my wedding and planning it out, I'm thankful. But because of your less than beautiful looks, I want you to stay away from it.
You're being awful right now, Evelyn. You can stop trying to tell me to stay away, all right? Go and tell your brother all these sorts of things and see what he says.
I tried warning you plenty of times not to come, Ava, but you never heeded any of them. And you probably just thought that I was bluffing. If this has helped you understand that you're an ugly and depressing woman, then get up and go home.
I've had enough. You are worse than I thought. You pushed me into that fountain at the wedding reception all because you hate the looks of your brother's wife for no good reason. That right there has pushed me to my limits with you.
And I told you that all ugly people were to stay out of my wedding. Hurry up and go away. You're dripping wet now, and I don't want you causing any slip hazards for my invited guests.
I can see that you think you're all that because it's your wedding day and you want me to be gone. But do you understand just how regretful you're going to be because of all that you've done to me?
Regretful? I'll never regret a thing about today. All I did just then was help get rid of an ugly duckling. Everyone knows that I was in the right for doing that.
Well, if you're so confident in that, then that's great for you. I can see now that no matter what I try and say to you, you're never going to actually think about it. I'm giving up on you now, you old, hopeless hag!
Excuse me? Why are you being so rude to me now?
Because after all this time I'd been so considerate of you when you've been rude to me. You are my brother's older sister after all, and I tried my best to just ignore all the hateful things that have come out of your mouth. But I seriously cannot handle you anymore.
Well, I've been trying my best with you.
How?
I've actually never really thought of you as part of my family, even after marrying my brother. And because you came into my wedding today without considering the consequences, I had to push you into the fountain. There's no way that someone dripping wet would be allowed to stay here, so hurry up and go.
Then I will go.
See ya! Never, you gross loser!
Going as far as you have has really shown me your true colors. But since you still can't seem to realize the consequences of all this, then I'm just going to shut up and leave. But don't you ever forget that this wedding hall was all put together with the help of the company I work for.
Huh? And what does that have to do with anything?
You'll know soon enough.
Hey, Ava. Can you reply to me, please? Right now they're saying that this whole wedding is being cancelled and have started to clean up.
Well, that would happen. I told them to cancel it before I left.
Huh? What the heck are you talking about, Ava? If you let them keep doing this, then my whole wedding is going to be over.
And that's just too bad, right? But if you think about what you've done to me, it's only natural. You cared way too much about your little brother's feelings, and to make sure that your wedding that you haven't even paid for yet was perfect, you pushed me, the one paying for it, into that fountain. None of what you'd been doing was okay.
Hold on a second. There's no way you can just cancel my wedding while it's still going on, right? Right now my husband is pissed.
Is that so? I'm sure he would be when he has no clue as to why this is all happening yet. But I have nothing to do with the aftermath of all this, so don't bother me with it.
You can't just run away from this.
Well, I am a stranger to you, right? You told me that you don't regard me as family. And for a while now, I had been worried a lot about Drew. But I can no longer think of you as being family to me.
Come back here.
What?
Please, come back here so that we can all avoid being embarrassed. So please come back. If we can't get this wedding back on the road, then I'll be in hot water. Hurry up and get back here. Explain all of this to my husband for me.
I'm going to just ignore that very selfish request of yours, okay?
Huh? Why?
Also, as for the money you had asked me to give you to pay for that wedding, I'd like all $50,000 of it back very soon from you.
What? Huh?
That's what it cost for your wedding and all that came with it. And you asked me to pay for it at first, and that you'd repay the $50,000 to me after the wedding. So give it all back to me right now. I want it. And now that your wedding has been canceled, you have to pay the cancellation fees as well. I'm not going to be the one to pay those fees, but I still want my money back now. And I will not let you run away from me.
There's no way I can give you all of that money right now. Are you being serious with me?
Why wouldn't I be, you filthy grandma?
Huh?
You had no right calling me ugly and pushing me into that fountain when you had to borrow money from me to have the whole wedding. I've really been thinking about what could have been wrong with your head. But anyway, I want that money now.
But I don't have that kind of money on me right now. And also having my wedding cancelled on me is not okay. I had finally made it into my wedding day, and now it's all being ruined.
You must have forgot all the strings I had to pull to allow your wedding to be held here. I mean, if you knew that and still pushed me into the fountain, then you must seriously need some mental help.
I knew about all of that. Why would I have ever forgotten about something like that? But I thought that that would have had nothing to do with me. I can thank you for getting me this beautiful place to have my wedding and all, but I never thought you could easily cancel the wedding on me as well. I just never thought that you'd actually do something so horrible to me.
Well, it had to happen after you decided to get me drenched while in my dress. I'd stop trying to make excuses for all of that now, okay? You should know by now that this is all due to you, right?
I'm tired of texting you about this, so just come back here, please. If you want me to apologize for what happened, I'll apologize. Really, what do you want to happen after all of this?
Huh? What do I want to happen?
I'm just asking that you come back here and make things right for me so that we can continue the wedding, right? So you can stop acting like a crybaby and come back here. I'll apologize if that's what you're wanting.
You are actually brain dead, you hag.
Huh? Brain dead? Don't you think you're going too far?
Even though you're the one that's been taking it too far for a while now? Calling me ugly and a loser all the time has driven me up the wall. If you have the time to be calling me names all day long, then maybe you had the time to rethink what you were doing and make a change for the better. Your wedding is canceled, you pile of garbage.
You don't have to tell me things like that, right? What are you trying to say that I did? What's wrong with me calling you ugly all the time?
Well, then never ask me for money again. And don't bother with me handling your wedding for you anymore. I don't want to be around people that think it's okay to call others ugly. All you've done is made me feel as though I've wasted a lot of my time and money now. And I don't want that kind of relation with you anymore. So give me back my money and let your wedding be canceled.
Are you really that upset with me?
Oh, come on now! You forget that you pushed me into a fountain full of cold water? It'd be scary if you did manage to forget that so easily. Not only that, but you also have been calling me ugly forever now, and you made that your reason for kicking me out of the wedding. But seriously, you pushing me into that fountain because of my looks was the last straw for me. I'm not going to ever forgive you for that, and things between you and I are over. I am not coming back to your demolished wedding. I've already told everyone there that the wedding is canceled, and they gotten to work on taking it all down. And I plan to tell my husband everything about what happened between you and I.
Wait. What do you mean you plan to tell him everything? What the heck do you plan on telling him?
I'll tell him about how you pushed me into the water and then kicked me out of your wedding. And of course about all the other things you've said to me. I didn't want to tell him about us before either because, like you, I didn't want him worrying about us. You also told me to never tell him anything, and had you just let me be at your wedding, I never would have planned on telling him. But now things have changed, and I've had enough! After this, I'm cutting ties with you! Isn't that just fantastic for you?
That's not fantastic at all. And about my brother, he wouldn't stop talking about you any time he was around me. It was disgusting, and he was supposed to be my precious little brother, but you stole him from me.
But there is a limit to how far you can take that hate you had stored up for me.
I know that. I can see now that what I did was not right. You could say that I was just getting frustrated is all. I was hoping that at some point you'd leave my brother because of me.
We are married now, but all you could think of was having us divorce? I'm sorry, but him and I have never thought about divorce. But now that you've said that about us, I'm going to leave you for good. Is that okay with you?
But if you leave me now, then what will happen to my wedding?
Well, it'll stay canceled, won't it? You'll have to start from step one again and look for a new place to have your wedding at. But if you give me all my money back, I might rethink things.
That's screwed up, Ava. You and I are family, right? Don't you think you can cut that sort of crap with me since we're pretty much sisters? You're supposed to love and help your family, right?
I'm starting to feel that you have some sort of short-term memory loss that's at the bottom of all this. I'm sorry, but I cannot be asked with you anymore. I just don't get what is going on in that head of yours, and I don't want to anymore. So go right ahead and say whatever you'd like about me. I've told your husband now that your wedding is permanently canceled. And this might be the end of your marriage to him now as well.
Don't say those terrible things. Don't just throw me away. If my wedding really does end up being canceled today, I'll be causing a lot of problems for my parents, right? Are you happy letting those problems affect my parents?
I'm not happy about it, but I've already explained what happened to them as well.
Huh?
There were some people that watched you push me into the fountain. And your parents have already apologized to me for that. And after talking with Drew, he agrees that the both of us should cut ties with you for good.
You told Drew already? How much further are you planning to take all of this?
I'm not taking this any farther than you already have. You're the one that started all of this, and you're the one that brought it all to this point. This is great, right? You'll never have to see your ugly sister-in-law again. I'm glad about this myself. I'm finally able to say goodbye to one of the most heartless and gross women I've ever had the misfortune of calling family. Now, have a wonderful life with your husband. In the end, the wedding was officially canceled and taken apart. Evelyn's husband ended up being furious, and she was forced to apologize to both him and all of his family members that had traveled to see the wedding. And it seems that now,
Even their marriage is on the line. Drew was in shock over what his sister had done, and after talking with his parents about what to do about her, they all agreed to cut ties to her. Also, the money that Evelyn still had to repay Ava and the cost of the dress that she ruined by pushing her into the water were both to be paid in a settlement that Ava made. But Evelyn had been thrown out by everyone, and she tried her hardest to apologize to Ava. However, Ava ended up blocking her and told her lawyer to make sure that money was repaid before the end of the month.